It comes down to this, Jacob. What changes are we going to see to the play styles in the last match? You already have a good understanding of who rotates in your surroundings, who drops directly on your POI, or even just split. We've seen Pink and Vico make a lot of changes, but a duo that hasn't made too many, at least in terms of drops, it's Thomas and Queasy. Are they going to be the ones to come out on top in this last match?
It's going to be a good opportunity for them to start off hot, and exactly does. This Cringe goes down to fall damage. That's not something you see every day. This is truly the OG season. I know he's from NA, but shades of Myth coming out.
A tragedy for Cringe. Sangil, though, can he get both? He knocks one. One shot from either player is all it's going to take to end the day off. Buys from the vending machine a big pot. Shield comes through, has that hammer pump shotgun. And it looks like Gabix is just one shot away from being eliminated. Both players are here, Jacob.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even with the big pot that Sangil was able to just take right there, still one shot is all it's gonna take. Gabix on the other side. This is where Sangil is breaking through the build. A little bit of a pre-fire coming out from Gabix. And this fight will continue. Both of them just need that one well-placed shot. Sangil needs to be careful, and maybe it takes two. Maybe it takes two from Gabix there with the frenzy, but he ends up on top, giving him and Belusi another shot in this last game.
More than enough. Merstash Malabuka, once again, gonna be the players who secure this mythic loot, the medallion from the NPC boss here in Fencing Fields, and now will make their way towards the vault.
Business as usual over here towards Fencing Fields. Nothing changing too much, too drastically. Kind of splitting the drop between them and Cade and Diox, who've been performing pretty consistent outside the last couple games. But Pink and Vico, the fight against Hero and Kudo will continue. The forecast tower is so important for their strategy, and they have a chance to 2v1, break into the box at different angles, but he is just quickly moving through these builds to dodge a lot of what's being fired at him, and still manages to fire a shot back onto Pink.
What a huge way to turn it around here. Hero Kudo now, both with almost 200 effective HP and shield. Meanwhile, Pink is forced to hold the structures as his duo is healing up with that fizz, but you have to be careful. The longer you take, the more options for the third parties to come through as Pink continues building out. But with only 8 builds, you can even see Giannis there creeping on closer and closer.
Hopping in the distance, Flowberry Fizz, just trying to see what all this noise is about. Is it something they can take advantage of? Vico running out of builds, 5 left. Janice now shooting over in that direction, just making it exponentially harder for a lot of these players to survive. Now the high ground from Vico, shooting down from above, finally gets into the box and gets the first knock of the fight, giving him and Pink a huge breath of fresh air, but his teammate trying to bulldoze, trying to get the trade on back into their favor. He is full HP, full shield. He can make it a possibility, but Vico continuously on the run, not even giving them an opportunity to even land a shot.
Giannis capitalizing on this engagement taking so long. Now both duos and the original duo put into conflict. A crisis that they have to get out of as Vico barely making it on through. Just a sliver of HP and shield. Giannis is not going to let this one go.
Yeah, especially with Flixie. He's already down by himself. This is opportunity there. Even gets the piece control, boxes him in, doesn't want to let Vico escape. There's the opportunity. First shot's going to get the knock. Pink's already long gone, realizing we cannot fight this. We don't have material. We don't have heals. I'll come back for you on the other side.
This is going to be difficult. This is going to be incredibly difficult for Pink. One frenzy. One SMG. I mean, 11 builds. He can run into any player in the lobby right now, and it could be the end. But I mean, anything's possible, Jacob. We saw history be made in the semifinals with Malabuka's triple reboot comeback. Is Pink going to be able to do something similar?
And we've seen him do wonders before. We've seen Malabuka do the same thing. I feel like at this stage, anything is possible, even if you are a solo. especially the earlier on in the game that you are. A lot of space to work with. Zone doesn't do that much damage, so you can instantly try to go back. Aqua, Noah just kind of looting up, getting what they can, and they pulled zone early on in this game, so they really have a lot of time to work with before they have to move.
They started off incredibly strong in game 1 on height. Will they be able to do something similar in this last match of the day? Camiseti already taken out of the match, and Alexado continuing with the aggression. 6 builds though, as Vanyak once again getting closer. Sinad down below, looking for a shot, looking for an option. But Pablo and Bevies, they know that something's up.
And there you can see, after the last couple of games, they gotten themselves into top 5 position on that leaderboard, especially coming through with a big VR here in the finals. It's got to be able to keep that momentum going. Doesn't matter how many teams end up in your direction. I think they're going to be the safest ones just towards the out. Don't really have to worry about Andalex and Sato or anybody else pushing on over in their direction. You can see Forecast Towers now being fought for. Putrick, Swizzy, it's no longer free for them on this side of the map.
Multiple duos boxed up here on the elevated mountain. Forecast Tower NPCs have appeared, as now they have to kind of make that decision. Are they going to fully go for it? Are they going to contest it? Or do they just have it free?
Those are the ones at least making the risk to try to go down and make a play for it. And I do believe Putrick and Swizzy were able to capture it for themselves. There goes one Forecast Tower down. And great play for Ari and Giras to try to disengage, but as soon as we tune in, Merstash threads the needle, gets the headshot snipe onto Diox. That one's going to be easy, but shots bleeding through the builds. Casper is going to take down K. That full duo, with how well they started today, it all comes to an end in our 6th and final game where they're left on the sidelines to watch it all play out.
Game-changing shots from Merstash isn't going to be enough to propel them up the leaderboard, as Yanis now up against Pink. We saw this engagement earlier on, but Pink was not looking healthy at all. Now he has picked up a few shields. He's recuperated what he's lost, but can he recuperate that elimination? Yanis looking to see if he can get a pre-fire. Has the upper hand in terms of materials, but not in terms of damage. Both players now cracked. As it's an even playing ground.
Yeah, Yanis trying to go for a cheeky side jump, trying to catch him off guard, but no success. Looks around, even sees Phaser up top. That's King and Phaser hunting down this position slowly but surely, threatening the third party. I don't know if Pink got the memo because he's trying to escape. The fight will continue. Another shot being traded off between the two. Both of them drop down to just slivers of HP, and finally King and Phaser strike, stealing that elimination away from Yanis.
Now, the pursuit will continue. King Phaser, no, Yanis cannot be that healthy. They both have grapple blades. They have the option to keep chasing here, and all they really need is a couple AR shots or one shotgun shot, and there it is. 2 quick elims for Phaser, both on solos, and even a combat cache.
And that was a huge mix-up overall, not just in this fight that they're taking here, but their overall drop spot. Even when they won, they were still struggling when it came to Storm Surge, and now they switch things up and they're on the hunt, getting a little bit more proactive in their overall game plan to try to not have and fix those worries when it comes to Storm Surge. Reason, Vidil, just trying to go ahead and rotate as smoothly as possible, even if that means going back on over towards Snooty Steps where they landed initially in this fight. You can see what their plan is. Grab these EMPs, go towards one of those vending machines, get extra gold so you can get extra heals throughout the game.
Taking a look as well on the leaderboard. Quite close on the middle half there. For Reason and Vidil, though, with 262, you know that what they want to do is just maintain that position in first place. They don't want to do anything too risky, especially in the early part of these late games. Volko Vortexers still very high up as well with that victory royale. But so far, you can see in the mini-map at the bottom right, there's just a few duos around this POI, but none of them yet going for a full-on engagement. And every time I see that reflection from the sniper rifle, I almost just dodged myself here.
You take a screenshot of that. It's like, what do you see moments before disaster? Just a Reaper sniper glint heading in your direction. You literally have a split second. It's like a fastball thrown right down the plate. You only have seconds to decide if you're going to swing, or hopefully it lands outside of the strike zone. Zarian, low-key, battling it out. They won the first game of the day, continued their momentum from the lower bracket semifinals, but they get pushed off of this combat cache by Swizzy and Putrick. For now, it is going to go on over to them. So it gives them the decision if they want to disengage, give it up, or maybe stay over here and try to fight for scraps.
You can see Arya and Loken, they're interested. There's something that they want here as they continue pickaxing for a wall, doing anything that they can to potentially do a bit of damage or even take the combat cache. But for now, they've got no luck.
Still time ticking. Low-key, still low towards the low ground. Swizzy trying to peek through the bush. Sniper shot narrowly missing. Swizzy has to be careful, especially with the bush able to cover up a lot of where Low-key is hiding. Multiple teams, not just the two that we're seeing here in this position. A third is going to be right on top. Low-key trading shots. Swizzy's going to land one. Back them down even more. And that's going to give Swizzy and Putrick all the time in the world to collect all this loot, figure out the loadout they want, and they still don't even have to rotate because they're still in zone.
Clock's ticking. 6 seconds until fourth zone appears. It's not like either duos have to get out of the situation either. It's more just a waiting game. What would be more surprising is if something incredibly aggressive happens. For that, they need an opportunity, whether it be a big shot from a hammer pump shotgun, a quick scope, something to crack their opponent. 68 players up. Mixon even getting a knock on the feed here. But could this be enough as the edits keep popping through the peaks, but so far nothing to continue the aggression.
So there's that third-party team that's just being so patient on the outskirts, waiting for that fight to end. Mixon stuck as a solo, just trying to go in and out of these builds to try to stay alive. Finds a huge treasure trove of loot to try to push himself even further here in this game. That's Monier down low towards the bottom. His duo nowhere in this game, and there's 2, 3, 4 teams on the minimap looking in this direction, some still rotating. So what looks like a tough spot to be in just got harder.
Shots come through. 19 white. One more needed to connect. He gets it, but it's not enough. Mixon goes down. Now Moni coming out on top, but is it going to be enough? He gets the refresh. He gets the materials, the shields, but playing as a solo, it's going to make it that much more difficult. Mongrel, Mr. Savage now starting off strong here with one elimination. If they can finish the day with a big match and continue that momentum in day 2 with the point format change, it could be more than enough to have a comeback.
Yeah, for them, you got to imagine it's almost all up from here. Not really having the best day. Contested directly, then almost triple, quad contested after that with the teams looming in afterward. So can only go up from here as reason for deal. This team here has a ton to lose if they go down early. Still 10 more teams needs to fall before even one placement point begins to come in, let alone all those other, as they continue to stay alive. And they're not too far off from zone, but they are so close to 2 other teams, both behind them and in front in zone.
They see them now. Zooming in. Reaper sniper in hand. No shots being taken. As they quickly turn around. Even get a bit more elevated here. Go right back up the hill. It looks like they don't want anything. Reason and Vidil know all they really have to do is get to the late game. They don't need eliminations right now. Pablo and Bevies as well, trying to hold on to that top 5. Just a couple duos in the area. But so far, nothing to be worried about.
Tayson in the feed, taking down Monier, who would... You said it yourself. Will that elimination be enough for him to try to stay alive? And, well, the answer has been given to us by Tayson himself. No, it's not enough to outlast one of the superstars of the region. Pablo, Bevies, not too much to do for them except for wait for zone. As soon as they get that far pulled, that's when they start to make their rotation on over, saving those grapple blades until when they need them most.
Going right back to where they came from at the fencing fields. They said, let's make a rotate, get a quick elim, do a bit of damage, and go right back home to where we started off. They have a good amount of materials, just missing a bit of metal. They could just rebuild on top of the building here and recuperate the materials. For Kiro Kiduo, though, no more fighting. Pink and Vico at the forecast tower, and now up against new opponents by the Hazy Hills.
You see they're calm, cool, collected. This is very, very similar fashion in which they fight against Pink and Vico. They're very, very patient. They let a lot of those opportunities naturally come to them and really don't make moves unless they're forced to. But I will say, with the zone being this far out with a lot of rotation and ground to cover, it's going to have to come down to this crash pad play. Hopefully they have the Flowberry Fizz to kind of combine with that, just so they don't end up in that trench underneath the mountain and slide off of it.
Yeah, you can see the crash pads in hand. It looks like they're going to do a Flowberry crash pad combination for the rotate. Will they succeed? Who knows? As we take a look at Wheat and Shimoki now. 130 above, grapple blades in hand. Crash pads coming through. No shots going to be taken yet, and it looks like they will stop here just on the edge of zone. They don't want to go too deep yet. They know there's some players potentially behind them. You can see now with the builds, they've got their eyes on them. It could be the tags they need here. 63 players up in the 5th zone. Just 3 need to be eliminated for Storm Surge to no longer be active, so it's not going to be incredibly stressful. However, there are times where those 3 players will just not get eliminated and the pressure will be on.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a bunch of solos like Noah here, just running around, out healing, trying to stay alive, doing just enough to stay ahead of the curve. But he's going to take this moment as he sees a lot of these teams moving forward in that direction to try to turn back. He knows where that combat cache was in not too long ago. He realized the med kits are much more impactful, especially as a solo traveling in the zone for him than those big pots. The instant heals with the shield fish, even though it's 40 instead of 50. I think Noah's setting himself up to try to go through the slower side of the zone and let a lot of these teams pass him up, so that way he can find at least a crevice inside that he can hang on to.
Being 200 above as a solo as well is impressive. I mean, the average damage needed throughout the day during the 6th zone has been around 309. So if he's 200 above, 500 damage without any eliminations. They've been getting more than enough tags. For Pixie Walks, though, on the contrary, they need some. Flowberry Fizz out healing the Storm Surge, but for how long? As there's no more juice left. Walks and Pixie put into panic. Medkit comes through. Just a couple ticks away. Medallion getting traded. Teammate gone down. Pixie left as a solo. As it just keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah, now he just uses the last med kit, the last of his heals. One Reaper sniper shot is all it's going to take. A couple well-placed AR tags, a burst from the Thunder. You got to try something here, Pixie. Peek through the cone, 135, falling below. He's hoping that the medallion will be enough to continue to try to out-heal this whole scenario.
Sniper shot comes through.
Wow.
110. No headshot. Is it enough? 20 below still. He needs another one. Even just take out the SMG. Hit a couple shots, but a sniper one is ideally what Pixie's looking for. Take your time here, Pixie. 24. It's not enough. Still below. Gets another shot. Is it enough? 30 above. It is, but for how long?
Yeah, just worrying me there at the edge of my seat. What's going to happen? Seconds remain until Storm Surge activated. Would have been disastrous without any heals left. Only the medallion to try to get the shield back on up. But Pixie has been granted another opportunity to make something happen, but he's not too far off from Noah, who's now suffering to Surge. You know as well as I do, when Storm Surge taking you down, you might not have any choice but to go in on the box of the nearest player.
Water rotate. Trying to get into this 7th zone for Noah, though. He's lost Aqua already. 24 HP, no shields, no heals. Currently sitting in 9th place. Wants to maintain that top 10 going into day 2. Does he know, though, the player on the other side is also a solo that's not looking incredibly healthy.
This is where it gets hard for players like Noah and everybody else in his position. Solo, no heals. 10 teams need to go down in this next zone. Make it 9 now. as Nevs and Slovey just gets taken down. Noah just trying to look for opportunities. Just one singular damage above the threshold. Chexy's going to be his next target. Gets the piece control, but he narrowly escapes that shot. And now Noah's below the threshold looking for more.
One tick. It could be Noah's demise. The clock's ticking. The damage is increasing, now up to 64. He hits the 25 tag, but it's not going to be enough. Noah, you need to do something. You need to make something happen, and he knows. Unable to connect the shots onto Reason. Now just 13 seconds until the zone closes. Noah has to go in.
Yeah, time is ticking. Only has a few opportunities left. Gets the piece control on the other side. Malibu Mustache almost on the receiving end until Storm Surge strikes, takes him out. Medallion and loot up for grabs. Deal and Reason still battling against Pixel and Debule. Piece control going on over. They sneak through a shot, but not able to connect. They don't feel confident enough to move forward, especially knowing in about 30 seconds they're going to have to rotate towards zone once more.
No materials for Vidil. He finds the loot from an Elim, though. How many builds is it going to give him? Still 0. Reason, do you have any builds? Please tell me. He's crouched up. None as well. Jacob. They need to find some Elims. They need an impact. They need to do something aggressive.
This is tough because they're already sitting in first place. They don't need to make any desperate or drastic moves, but that's the position that they're currently in. Without any build, zone is going to pull back, and that's going to give them a sigh of relief. They get to recycle a lot of these builds and live to tell the tale. Yet another zone. Whew.
Mustache connecting a couple shots, increasing his damage done. They have more than enough, but you can never stop looking. 17 bullets in the Reaper, 300 plus in the Mythic AR. As Teeny and Misha are gonna have to rotate, but Mustache is waiting. Can he connect the shot? Unable to. As he starts his rotate.
He goes back through a lot of his old recycled builds, trying to find the safest rotation on over. Reason gets tagged up. Vidil felt the same pain, dropped to just slivers of HP. That's Mustache. He's a solo on the other side, and Reason takes him out. That's a huge elimination and a huge find in terms of loot.
2 big frenzy shots to secure the Elim. Now back in the game. 71 builds, bigs being popped, medkits being popped, and it's Thomas HD. It's Queasy up above.
Yeah, but we've seen this before. Unfortunately enough, they were unable to hang on to it. It was Veno and Tayson who eventually overthrew the captains on top of the mountain. But first you don't succeed. You try again. They have 5 eliminations so far, and this could be the moment here that they burst up that leaderboard and try to take away first place. There's still plenty of placement points on the board overall. And a nice shot like that, Skvi's gonna get dropped down to a sliver of HP. And there's a whole nother team that see he's weak down there. 275, Thomas does it again. Said he was the best sniper in the game, and that is why.
Is he the best? As now they're forced to tarp ahead. Do they want to continue holding the high ground? Ninth zone, 25 seconds left of the deal, and Reason are choosing to rotate along the side. But look at that, directly into Malusi's box. 2 quick Elims.
Oh, but there's still more. Vidil goes down. Reason forced to kind of tunnel towards the backside of the zone. The pressure is definitely on, but he's finding a way to survive. Just a crevice, a nook, a cranny on the side of the mountain, while all other teams are still battling all out to try to get eliminations.
Queasy staying ahead while Thomas now connecting. So far, so good in terms of the high ground. Reason, though, he's lost his duo partner. Vidil is down. He does have that med kit to recuperate the HP and play slow, but what he does not have are materials.
Yeah, running out even with the find that he was able to have early on. It all gets shut down. Wouldn't say first place is wildly up for grabs, but it definitely has a chance for somebody to overtake, including Veno and Tayson. Started this game in 7th place. Each and every time they play, they've been getting better, adapting on the fly, and this could be their chance to finally take that first place.
Queasy Thomas need to apply pressure onto Veno and Tayson. They know they're second high, but the snipe shot connected by Veno. Now, with the advantage, pushing up for the clouds. They want this high ground. They want this win condition. But as the risk factor increases, they drop down, and Thomas and Queasy are forced to go below as well. But Thomas gets taken out. It's Veno. Huge snipe. Now, retook high ground.
He's definitely put a respect on his name in the sniper game. He said, what? He's the best sniper? Nah. Not only gets the sniper, gets the high ground, and a chance to solidify the game now that him and Tayson are taking over.
Queasy alone. He does have a decent amount of materials, but he cannot play second height. The pressure is going to be on him as he slowly drops down below, but he has to find that layer where there's no duos, there's no solos close by. Gets a knock though. It's on Pablo. This could be a huge impact.
Yep, now he's going to get even more mats to work with. Floor getting edited. Queasy quickly thinks he gets out, but he does it yet again. I think that was another sniper on a player towards the sky, but doesn't matter. He's putting on a show. Queasy stuck by himself. Medallion doing the work to try to get his shield back on up, but he cannot wait. He doesn't have the luxury. Too many teams all around.
No med kit, just one tick away, and Storm is going to lead to Queasy's demise here. He's going to have to stay ahead as now gets boxed up with an opponent. Looks like he might have secured the knock, but he doesn't have time to get the finish. He cannot play in zone here. He has no heals. He has no med kit as he continues in the dirt.
Yeah, he's barely going underneath. He's trying to make sure if anybody drops, he has that perfect opportunity. No builds. Giri's Chari on the other side. Kiduo even pops into the mix. Queasy lands that first shot, and he's trying to go around. He doesn't want to get stuck as the sandwich in the middle.
Looking for the one shot. The frenzy. Is it going to be enough damage? It's not. Kiduo, hammer pump, elimination. Tayson Veno looking to secure the win condition.
And this is the same position a few seasons ago as Hari's trying to break in. He does, gets that elimination, bringing it down to a 2v2 situation. Veno and Tayson, they had the high ground, but now it's gone on over. Hari's goes down. He's the first one dropped. 2v1. Veno and Tayson versus Giri's, who's already started the heal off the backside of the zone.
How many medkits does he have? That's what's on my mind as Tayson begins the hunt. Veno trying to outlive his opponent. Who is going to be able to stay up longer?
It's all about the medkits. Veno has none. Giri's trying to make his way to the front side of the zone and doesn't get a chance. Veno and Tayson overtake high ground at the perfect moment. Well-placed snipe, and they steal away Game 6 of the FNCS Finals.
Game-changing shots from Veno. I'm not sure if he had the heal off there. No medkits to his name, but securing those last shots is what got him that elimination and that win.
That is big. Let's watch the replays. The snipe lands. Thomas goes down, and this is where Veno and Tayson completely take over. And it's not enough for these guys to take part in the FNCS Finals. They want to take over the FNCS Finals. And with a game like this to end the day, confidence has to be at an all-time high.
Thomas HD with massive snipes, but Levin said it himself. Veno has been unreal with the sniper rifle recently, and even with the SMG connecting those final bullets to secure the VR, bumping them up the leaderboard.
And this is big. This is a big, momentous moment for Veno and Tayson, because we look at Tayson, we look at his accolades, his history, one of the biggest shining stars in all of EU with the amount of FNCS championships he has, and he's looking to add another one, Takata.
But look, that's it for me and Jacob and day one of the EU FNCS Grands. But I want to know what's happened on the leaderboard. So let's head right back over to those three beautiful faces. Frankie, Levin, Mini, what do you got?